we're going to switch to the extra feature as part of this hackathon to the live stream interviews. This live stream interview is going to be with MP Fernandez. It's happening up on the roof there now, and they're going to put it up on the big screen so the people in here can also watch. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Sara, Polak, and welcome to the third day of our live stream interviews. We've actually got a technological innovation up here that we've got a bit of a sunshade, which is great because it prevents us from dying. But most importantly, I've got MP Fernandez with me today, all the way from Buenos Aires, but living in Berlin. Is that right?
That's correct. I live in Berlin, but I was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Nice. And I just wanted to ask basically what you do. You're a founder of your own company. It's scaled up to 10 employees, you mentioned. And just so we can do a little bit of a LinkedIn overview, I guess, for the viewers at home. What do you do? What do you focus on in the blockchain world?
So I started in 2017 with my first official job in blockchain. At first, I was beforehand interested as well. But I actually started at Web3 Foundation, building help the ICO for Polkadot as a marketing assistant or something like that. And from there, around, like December 2017, I fell in love with the Ethereum community. In Polkadot, it was very nascent, so we didn't really know what having a vibrant community was like. And then I encountered the Ethereum community and I was like, wow, this is blockchain. I love it. I want to jump in. So later on, I actually applied for a job at one of my favorite Ethereum-based projects, Golem, which is one of the oldest projects in the space as well. And got the job. I was in Golem for 4 years. At first doing communications and marketing, then I served as advisor to the board of directors for 2 years. And during the pandemic, I was, also, because I was so in love with the Ethereum community, me and some friends decided to start an organization. We started hosting hackathons. The first one was ETH Berlin 2018. From there, we founded the Department of Decentralization that supports open source decentralized technologies. And of course, does hackathons and has a very strong art department. Currently, I'm just with DoD supporting the art department, and my friends have taken over and are going to host the third ETH Berlin in September, so that's very exciting. And yeah, while doing art stuff with DoD, I actually found very interesting, NFTs very interesting around 2018, started writing, started, experimenting with them. And right before the NFT boom started, I noticed there was a lot of movement in like a scene that was really, not well known. And that's where I was thinking of also, starting a new business. I met some people on Twitter. And we launched JPEG in the middle of the pandemic, not knowing each other in person. And from there, of course, we fundraised and everything. And right now we have 10 employees. We're very happy all together. And we're building a really cool product that's meant to remove, the focus on ownership and transactions and focus on the cultural aspect of NFTs.
And I got to say, when we were preparing for the interview, you mentioned the word stratification, which got me very excited as an archaeologist, because that's literally like all we do, just layers of ground. But what does that mean in the NFT world, and how does that help mature the technology and I guess make it more accessible to the average person as well?
So if you think of NFTs on Ethereum, the first iterations of all of the NFTs minted were supported by marketplaces. So basically, none of the artists owned their contracts, and also everything wasn't well indexed. Just because the technology was very new. In 2017 and 18, technology was very clunky. Wallets as well. Marketplaces were finding their way. So all of those NFTs that got minted and some that got continuously minted subsequently before, there were also, contracts for every artist, created this kind of clunky one layer of NFTs where it's very hard to discover anything interesting. You can discover, works by a particular artist, but it's not that easy because, some of them had minted in multiple marketplaces, some of them started very early. So, you really... one really needs to create some kind of infrastructure to start, stratifying all of the NFTs around. Of course, we can't fix the metadata for everything, but we can create registries, which is what JPEG does, that are crowdsourced in order to start, indexing and discovering NFTs a little bit better.
No, that's great, because you also said that, because one of the things that is very memed about NFTs these days, I guess, is that a lot of it can be a scam. Oh, I'll just copy paste your picture and it'll be mine. Is that one of the main things that you do, like advancing the understanding of NFTs, kind of like de-bullshitting the world a little bit as well?
I bullshit a lot. No, I actually bullshit, but no, of course, we start from the understanding that, whether PFPs or conceptual art NFTs, all NFTs are cultural objects. Of course, right now that there's like a 10K PFP collection being born every minute, that's a very hard to sustain argument, but we still, continue pushing and educating and, building core infrastructure that, in the future people will, be able to look at it and say like, oh, actually, in all of these, there's very interesting stuff. There's stuff that deserves my attention. There's stuff that, we should consider as, the culture from these times. Yeah. So, yeah, there's bullshit everywhere, there's bullshit in magazines, in TV, in everything. But it's about, who sees it and, what you can do with it as well. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. And one of the things that in pretty much every interview we've covered is like how cool the community is. And you mentioned you fell in love with the Ethereum community very early on, like you're very much an early adopter. So how have you found it, and how have you found your way here? That's what I'm curious about.
So I found my way here by doing. We started our own hackathon in 2018. We've been talking to people, organizing events online, offline, just even contributing to with what we could to, documenting what was happening very early with, the growth of these groups that were also trying to build these too, So I think that, learning by doing and contributing is the right way to start anywhere. And that's what I did.
Nice. And it's also not your first time in Prague, right?
No, it's like my fourth time. Yeah, I for Ethereum, I'd been here for, quite a few times. And of course, DevCon Prague was the legendary one.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't attend that, and everyone keeps mentioning how amazing it was. Like, why was it amazing? What happened there?
Oh my God, it was so good. Yeah. Food was great, talks were great, vibes were great, the venue was great, we all had a lot of fun. There were parties everywhere. I didn't go to too many because, I'm old, but it was really well organized, and, everything was very easy to access. So, yeah, it was a fantastic time.
Nice. Well, it was a fantastic time until Eat Prague came along. MP, I would love to talk to you for hours, but unfortunately, the stage manager is saying that we have to cut it off. But I will be seeing you very shortly with more live interviews. And thank you so much for being here and making the community such an awesome place.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Have a great time. Enjoy the parties and everything, and I'll see you later. Bye.